Back for a good one. I'm here with the boys. How are we, guys?
What's up?
Doing good.
I feel like we can...
I feel like I'm being watched.
No.
Camera for the, second time?
Well, there's about 13 different things that are new. It's going to be a little bit of a shock to everybody here at the beginning, but I feel like we can finally breathe a sigh of relief from what's been going on for the last 3 weeks.
Kidding.
We're finally here in this setting. And hopefully we're not up till midnight tonight for the seventh day in a row.
Right.
I don't know if I'll ever mentally recover from the loss of sleep at this point, but that's all right. We're here and got our studio.
We're in our 60, I'd say close to 60% complete studio.
Yeah, we're close, but not close. I mean, we're close enough to do this. I mean, this.
As far as you guys can tell, it's done.
That might be a little far-fetched.
There's not a whole room of unfinished sheetrock behind the camera.
Nope, definitely not.
No, not at all.
So, what did we do last weekend? This?
Yeah.
We unfortunately had to cancel our ice fishing trip that was supposed to be in
This
2
weekend,
days.
Yeah.
I'm super glad we did. There's no way we could have juggled all of this.
No,
there's no way.
Um,
Because we were going to be gone all weekend, so...
And we were gonna go fly fishing after we canceled that, but it's gonna be 15 degrees this weekend, and that really doesn't bode well for spring
early
fishing.
spring.
Yeah. So
I don't know. We got a lot of work we can do here. A couple things we can do around this area.
We have some wifely duties that we're gonna have to do all weekend on the podcast, but now we're to a situation where you're going to have to be editing videos quite frequently all weekend.
That's all right.
I'm sure you're pretty good at it now. It's kind of...
I know, and I got a fancy new camera.
Yeah,
so.
We changed so much. Where are we at now? We got new camera, new studio.
Our Frankenstein table here.
Sean has a new dress.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. No.
Oh.
It's even got a split from the side down.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, those are my favorite.
Really?
Have you been?
I like the double ones where
the girls
it goes
on
in
TikTok.
between the legs.
Oh.
Like the TikTok trend, bro. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
No. So another thing, we're finally here. We're finally able to do a legitimate interview, and it's February, but it took 2 months, but we're here. We have a wonderful guest today. That was Ninja.
That was.
Welcome, Zach.
What's up, guys?
How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
So, welcome to our... God, see, what you have to bear with real quick is for the last 4 weeks, it's been just us three doing our thing. And we walked into... We were super prepared tonight.
As much as we could
to have one thing be unprepared, and we're finally here with good sound, and I only fucked up one time. So Zach, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. I totally understand. You guys don't have anything to worry about. We did our first guest on the podcast the other week, and it was a little bit of a shit show at first. We do a totally different method than you guys.
Yeah, this is probably quite an extreme difference in podcast style.
Yeah.
Obviously your podcast has a way different way you reach your viewers versus ours. So first of all, I'd like to get into you have kind of a big story. First of all, you what was it, 2 years ago, 2020? Why don't you go ahead and run us through? You started off. How much did you weigh?
With the whole TikTok journey, the highest I ever was 682.6 pounds.
Okay,
so that's kind of like my official starting weight, but I was probably up above 700. I remember going to the doctor and I was like 699.8, and I just never fucking went again until I started losing weight, because I know that I got to that over 700 pound mark, but I was so ashamed of myself that I didn't want to.
So how many you're at? So that would have been 2020, and so are you like a year and a half into it?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
And say. Your weight right now is at what?
287.
287. So you got basically a large following on social media due to really your inspirational journey to find, a better life for yourself, correct?
Yeah. Well, the thing that was, in my opinion, so different about what I posted is like, you always see these fucking videos on TikTok of people posting like before and afters, the finished result. But my first video that went like fucking bananas was the start. And like so many people resonated with like, this fucking kid is so big. Like first of all, how's he fucking moving? Mm-hmm. And the way I kind of describe it to people is like, for once, it wasn't a coach yelling from the finish line. It was like a teammate running the race with you. And like, that was what was unique about my journey. Cause you see, there's a ton of other influencers that have had these splash in the bucket 30 million view videos, but then they never retained the virality of those videos. And somehow I guess I was able to do that. You know, I think I have like 135 million views in the past year and a half now. And it finally climbed over 1 million followers. But now it's as I lose weight, I'm kind of running out of content a little bit. I'm starting to have to be a lot more thoughtful about what I post.
What I've been told about this kind of media journey, whoa, water on the floor. It's
all good.
Is you have to be able to constantly be able to audible your content, and I think you have a good voice, and I think that. I think you're going to be able to find, well, obviously you're doing, the Mental Hygiene podcast, mm-hmm. Which is a podcast that really kind of reflects on your weight loss journey with your, co-host Max, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And through that, you're kind of doing content that would help people understand where someone starts at 700 pounds and the journey that you went through to help people along the way. So I have kind of two questions for you right now, based off of what you just told us. When you were at that 700 pounds and you say, people said, how do I move at this point? What was your lifestyle like at that point? What was it like to, because, everyone's seeing the 1,000-pound sisters and the 600-pound life. And you at 20, were you been 20 when you started? 21, 22. Okay. 22. You probably had some skeletal, your skeleton was good, your muscles were good. So I'm curious, what was it like for you to move around at that weight at that point in your life?
Well, I would say the fact that I was such an athlete when I was growing up saved me from having to have a crane lift me out of bed. Like, I had a lot of muscularity underneath the fat, thankfully. But so like, I would still go fishing here and there and just sit on the fucking ground and like, just, a set line with a crappie rig or what the fuck ever, right? Other than that, I mean, I was really like, the biggest way I can describe to you like how difficult that lifestyle was is like, I couldn't wipe my ass. Like, the Social Security Administration put me on disability because I couldn't wipe my ass. And like, you can't work a fucking job if you can't wipe your butt. Mm-hmm. I knew this was pre-COVID, so that wasn't even like working from home on the scale that people do now wasn't even a thought. So I couldn't wipe my butt. And then like, I could go places and do things. But first of all, my odor was fucking horrendous. People were grossed out by me. Little kids stared. Little kids laughed. Old people laughed. Old people thought that they had the right to, pull me aside and tell me that I had to do this to lose weight or this, that, whatever. But I was still pretty mobile. I could get out of bed. I could bathe myself. I could do that kind of stuff. Fitting in cars was very difficult. The toll that I took on suspension on cars. I mean, I single-handedly could decrease gas mileage. Right. In car. Like my Subaru, that's our other car. It probably went from like 19 mpg. Now it gets like 22 and a half, just from me not being a quarter of a ton. So I think that kind of sums up the lifestyle. I was sedentary. I was eating, my girlfriend, I don't know, before all that, just a lot of fucking eating my boredom, eating my pain away. And like Ramsey knows, like my sister passed away when I was a little kid and that really fucked me up. Right. My brother was also actively terminally ill from the same disease. And that was just, and my mom went like really absent. So like not having any support around me for so much of my life really fucked me up. And I was just literally sitting in bed eating. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to be as productive as I could, but I dropped out of high school. I picked up a pretty bad drinking problem when I was like 15 years old. But yeah, that's pretty much what it was like to be 700 pounds. Don't do it.
So what I remember of the last time I could say we sat in a room together or stood in a room together, you were not a real, I mean, like, as someone that's grown up overweight and been like the football player, like, you know, you were that size, you were bulky but not overweight. Would you say it was like your high school years that you really blew up into that weight, or was it your
for sure freshman year, right after my freshman year in high school, for sure. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You are a freshman in high school. You're starting to gain weight, and what are the hobbies that you were doing right before you started to become? Because I'm going to tell you right now from experience, there's a point where you're fat, and then you look back on a point in your life where you're like, I wish I was as fat as I was then.
Yeah, for sure.
When did you get to that point to realize that you're not doing the things that you used to love to do?
So after my freshman year of high school, I got my heart hurt pretty badly. That it was definitely no fault of anybody but my own, but it was 1000% a catalyst to everything that had gone on throughout my life. Like, you know, there was a winter where we didn't have electricity and we had to cook all of our food on a fireplace, and all of our heat came from a fireplace. We ran an extension cord from our neighbor's house, and like there was just all of these extenuating circumstances that were building and building and building and building, and then that catalyst happened, you know, after my freshman year of high school. And it was like I was steadily creeping up towards, you know, 350, 400 pounds. And then when that shit happened, it was just like fucking the floodgates broke. I just didn't leave the house anymore. I just ate and ate and ate and ate and ate and ate and ate. And I mean, I could literally ate until I was almost dead. Mm-hmm. So I 100% understand where you're coming from when you can like look back and say, what was that catalyst that happened? And I would say that was when I got hurt, and then not having the proper support system around me and not knowing how to cope with it.
Okay.
So I guess I have a question I guess when you started your weight loss journey, was there like a point that the hump that you just couldn't get over, and it was just super stressful, and it, you know, probably just took a toll on your mind and everything across that line and stuff?
So like Ramsey knows, I've always loved pretty much the same thing you guys do. I've always loved outdoors, loved sports. And being 22, all of my friends were really starting to live their lives, go camping, go boating, go hunting, go fishing, go on wild adventures to Europe and all this shit. And it fucking killed me to watch all of them do that. And I thought that my athleticism, the pure grit, would carry me to weight loss. And I really explained this to you in those messages when we talked about it. It won't. It's not enough. And I probably went to the YMCA for probably 2 consecutive years, swimming every single fucking day for 2 or 3 hours a day. And I yo-yo like 20 or 30 pounds, but it was never anything substantial. So I was still always over, 640, 650 pounds. When I met my girlfriend, she was trying to lose weight as well. And then COVID hit, and we both reverted and went to our highest weight. She got to about 320, a little bit under 320 pounds. And I was, 682 pounds. We collectively were literally 1,000 pounds. Sorry. And the big catalyst, that hump that you're talking about, I went to... Cassidy and I found an air conditioner on Facebook Marketplace. So this was like the end of June, and she was like, let's go buy it. So we went over to this old couple's place in the middle of town, and went into their house and plugged it in, tried it out. And they're like, oh, they're a really sweet couple. And I walk out of the house with this air conditioner in my arms. And do you guys know what exposed aggregate is? Like on a staircase that's exposed gravel, like pea gravel for traction. Mm-hmm. I fell down like 5 stairs, and I fell on top of the air conditioner. It fucking destroyed my legs. And I thought it was good. Like that was like excruciating pain, but we went home a couple days later. Cassidy and I are trying to gear up to have a summer of camping. We were buying a tent. We were setting up this tent in our front yard that we bought, and I literally just couldn't stand. I could not fucking stand on my feet. And I was like, Cass, you got to take me to the hospital. So they did. And they thought that I broke my back, but there was no way to definitively tell because I was too fucking fat for the MRI and the CT. So they were like calling the zoos around. They were like, yeah, there's no chance. You won't fit. And the zoos were like, we can't help you with that. So the neurosurgeon came in and he was like, we're going to put you in the hospital. We're going to put you in the nursing home for 6 months because we'd rather be safe than sorry. And I'm fucking 21 years old or just about to turn 22. That's not an option. Fucking nursing home at 20. What the fuck? It's a totally wrong direction that I ever wanted to go in. So that was definitely my catalyst to change back. And I actually had the message, but I messaged my doctor and I was like, I really want to do this for real. Like, I'm serious. This is it this time. I'd like to see the dietitian that I saw before because she was great. And I really surrounded myself with the right support team. And then I let go of my ego about being an athlete and I kind of put my life in my care team's hands. And Paige was like, if you fucking follow this process, you're going to lose the weight. And I was like, I don't believe you, but I'm going to do it and we're going to find out. So not only was there a dietitian that both of you guys see now, I believe.
Yep.
There was a dietitian, and then I did cognitive behavioral therapy to figure out why I binge ate the way that I did, why I would eat the way I would when everybody wasn't looking. The way, maybe you guys have experienced this, but like back then what I would do, especially when I first started losing weight, is I would eat so well and I would do so well in my caloric deficit. And then when nobody was looking, I'd be like, I did pretty good. I worked my ass off today. And then I'd fucking eat like 3 sandwiches and a glass of milk. And it's like fucking undoing everything. Mm-hmm. It's like, there's no point. And it really fucked me up. But yeah, that was the catalyst for me to start back up.
Okay. Yeah.
So question for me is like, now that you've lost as much weight as you've lost, what's the feeling when you're able to do all the things that you were watching these people do that you're like, man, I really want to do this now that you can do it?
You know, I think everybody that watches or listens to this podcast can just like close your eyes and think about being on the most pristine river fly fishing and like a bald eagle drops down in front of you. Like every time I close my eyes, I just think of that every fucking time. Like that I can do that now. It's like I teetered so close to that line of death and of being somebody that can't even take care of their own body that I'm so great. Like literally every time I close my eyes or I go to sleep, I think of like some granola ass music playing with I'm fly fishing in the mountains, bro. Like my buddy Connor, he got me back into, I've always been a spin fisherman, but he like forced me to fly fish and he forced me to like only bring fly rods. And
Good man.
He took me to the Madison, that gap between Hebgen and Quake. You know, that really popular spot right there. And oh my God, dude. I fished for 3 fucking days and I didn't even get a bite. And I was dog ass tired and knee deep in the wet wading in the fucking river. And this fucking huge, like 5-foot wingspan bald eagle drops down. And my buddy took a couple pictures of me, and all of a sudden I'm dead drifting a nymph through the water with a root beer float on the bottom of it. Okay. And fucking hooked up. And it was like the dinkiest little rainbow trout, but I almost fucking cried. I was like, this is the best fish ever.
Dude, that's a good moment.
That's
right there.
so relatable. And the funny thing to me is like, when you talk about 3 days of just casting, that's the best days, dude. So I'm assuming you haven't gone steelhead fishing yet.
Not yet. I went to Oregon to do it. But
you need to do some steelhead fishing because you'll learn that it's a fish of 1,000 casts. It makes you a better fisherman every single time you do it. And there's something so grind worthy about it. Like it's so satisfying when you go home you don't even catch a fish. And so I get what you're saying.
I'm at this point with it where like I really, because you guys know people are snob. Fly fishermen can be really fucking snobby about bait fishermen, bro. Yeah. And like my buddy Connor was trying to recruit me into fly fishing, and I was like, bro, you'll look down on me because I'm a spin fisherman. But I swear to God, I'd rather go fly fishing for 3 days and not catch a goddamn thing than catch a fish. You
got to take a positive out of it too, because I mean, you're just sitting there practicing a cast for 3 days essentially.
yeah, for real.
So I mean, next time you go, you're like, oh, this is definitely muscle memory now.
When we went on that trip to the Madison, we went to, you guys know Rich at East Rosebud?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We were pulling there, and Connor was like, you're probably gonna spend like $100 on flies. I was like, the fuck I am. And like it was like $109. I was like, I fucking hate I lost like half of them in the river.
Oh yeah, it's the
You
best
really
part.
learn.
It's definitely a guilty pleasure.
Oh man, just before we continue, I got to tell you guys a story. We were right there. You guys know the bend right there, like the big, really popular bend that dried up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we were fishing there. My buddy Ty and Connor, and they're teaching me that we're doing all this stuff, and we're all fly fishing. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys would probably know better, but that section of the river is non-live bait only, right?
On the Madison?
Yeah.
Shit, man, I haven't been in the Madison in a while, so I'm not. If you tell me that, I'll believe it.
That's what we were under the impression of. These fucking guys from Utah pull up like 6 deep, 6 of them. They're throwing spin rods like Panther Martins, trailing worms. Whatever, it is what it is. They go down. They seem pretty nice at first, and my buddy Ty hooks up. He gets hooked up to a couple of them, and these fucking guys just start creeping on us. Get like arm's width. We kind of go away. We're like, okay, we're not going to be confrontational. These motherfuckers. This guy caught probably like a 2.5 pound brown trout. Turns around, grabs it, just fucking throws it. Just throws it into the river. And then they're doing this, like 15 fish. They're hammering them. We can't catch shit, but they're literally just like, it's the hoot owl restriction just got lifted. And they're taking these fish, putting them up on the rocks, having them out of the water for like 3 minutes in like 85-degree heat, and then throwing them. Like these beautiful, huge brown trout. Like, I thought Ty was going to beat the shit out of one of them. It was like, everyone talks about, Montanans specifically always talk about how much we hate Californians or whatever, right?
Right.
It's fucking Utah people. They were brutal, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Well, I think sometimes bait fishermen can be some of the hardest people because most of the time, would you say a lot of bait fishermen they're probably going to eat the fish a lot of times?
More than likely.
More likely. I'm catch and release only now.
Oh yeah, see that's but like white meat, we keep like pike and walleye.
Okay.
Right.
Walleye's good as fuck.
Fried walleye. Oof.
I can relate to your story. There's a pond that we fish, the special little spot. We'll take you there someday. It's phenomenal. Like we know the little secret to it. You'd have a blast. We ice fish it too. Okay. And I had a buddy go out there a couple weeks ago, and there's Amish people that go in there, and there's no live minnows that you can't use live minnows in this pond. And they brought him in there and caught 100 fish, and they're just chucking them on the ice, rainbow after rainbow after rainbow, chucking them on the ice. And no, I totally get like you're frustrated. If I would have been there, I would have been super frustrated myself. But yeah, so I think it's really great to hear you bring up the fly fishing thing, because that was like my biggest, like when we're talking about weight loss and all this stuff, and you tell me I'm able to do the things I want to do and I'm a fly fisherman now, I was like, oh, my dude.
The best thing ever. Here, I'll show you guys. I got this done a couple weeks ago.
Oh, hell yeah.
Isn't that sweet?
That's sick, dude.
It is.
That's sick.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
I lost my tangent. This tattoo threw me off, dude.
How losing weight and fly fishing coincide.
Basically, what I was going to ask you is, with your fly fishing experience, obviously, it's freezing in here. I don't know if you felt that yet, but the window's been open. So thank you, Sean.
I gotta
Thank
try
you.
to close this here.
Go ahead. We're good. You're only just moving the table a lot, but it's fine.
Okay. Whew. That was a stretch.
A little chilly, were you?
I think Riley was.
Have you only done wade fishing with fly fishing? Is that like your basic experience with fly fishing? Is like you're on the bank and stuff?
No,
You drifted?
I've not in a drift boat,
Okay.
but I've. You guys probably, I know how fly fishermen are. I've trolled flies on boats before.
Oh, dude.
I'm a huge believer in the troll.
Oh, yeah.
Man, this has been a good time, boys.
Absolutely.
Sean, let's just finish up and get Zach on the road here. You had a lot you wanted to ask him about the hunting side of his life.
Yeah, so when we were back talking about the water thing, I wanted to bring this up just to start this off. The biggest problem that I have, because I drink so much water all day, is you know how hard it is to be archery hunting and piss 400 times a day?
I've never archery hunted, but like I can't imagine because I know how fucking close you have to get.
I remember Ramsey and I were sitting on a wallow in one of our spots, just waiting, calling every once in a while, and I had to drink so much
6
water.
times.
I had to pee, and the whole time all he was doing was tossing me the
The scent spray.
the scent spray, just so I could, because we're like, this is stupid, man. But so you do hunt, right?
Oh yeah.
What I mean, what are you into? What's your favorite?
With the weight. Okay, so when I was very young, it was a lot of pheasant hunting. We had Springer Spaniels growing up, so we always pheasant hunted, and then they died, and then I gained all the weight. So it's really, I love all sorts of hunting. I've always wanted to do a lot more, but the most I've done is a lot of deer rifle hunting.
Okay.
I know how to shoot a bow. I have a really beautiful recurve at home, and I know how to shoot that. Or I like rifle hunting for deer mostly.
And around this area, you go all over the state?
I've been all over the state.
Yeah.
I took my first deer in Shoto.
Okay.
That's where a lot of my family's from. And then I've been up near Havre and Harlem and Grass Range, Winnett, Bighorn, the Bighorn Mountains. My dad took a huge whitetail buck out there. It's fucking massive, literally like 300 pounds dressed. It was fucking fat.
Jeez. So did you get out this year or this past year?
I did go out. Yeah, I went up to Comanche Flats, but like probably like 30 miles west, kind of in those block management areas. We were kind of walking those hills a little bit, but we didn't get any luck.
A lot of backpacking or
not a lot. No, I'm still testing the waters. My biggest fear is like fucking breaking my ankle when I'm out there and have to get fucking medevaced out. So I think probably like 2 or 3 miles I did, but not much more than that.
Okay. And I mean, I guess I always ask people this too is, I mean, what's your favorite deer to hunt? Would it be a mule deer or whitetail?
To hunt or to eat?
Both.
Whitetail. Whitetail, is, in my opinion, is a little sweeter, and it's a little more fun to hunt near the water like that.
Right. Yeah. You'd always get a little more versatile hunt.
Yeah. It's so much more fucking flat when it's mule deer. Mule deer is fun, and like I just don't think they're quite as good tasting as whitetail.
I agree. I've never shot a whitetail.
Neither have I.
I haven't shot a whitetail either. My dad got that big one. Oh, motherfucker, that was good.
No, I bet. I'm going to shoot one this year.
Thinking about it?
Well, I was going to do it last year, but I'm telling you, like, you think, like, when you're out guiding, you can, like, sneak off sometimes, and you can't. Dude, I actually had this kid. He was from, sorry to tangent here, but this is kind of funny. When I was shadowing this year, I got to kind of like go out like on a hike with this. Like I couldn't really do much when you're shadowing like away from the outfitter. But we were like coming into this one area, and it was like literally like antelope area. I'm talking like sagebrush flats, and there was like one little ravine, and I guess you're within a half a mile of the river, but it's like mule deer country. And this kid had paid to come hunt with his dad, to come shoot a mule deer. But he was telling me and the outfitter, he's like, if I see a big ass whitetail, like I don't care if I shoot them at home, like I'll kill one here. Cause he saw like his buddy that was there last year shot a big one. And we're coming around the corner, and these whitetail are out in the sagebrush, dude. Like I was so caught off guard, and they went down in this ravine, and I had a shot, and I'm not shitting you, on like probably like 150-inch whitetail, like a big 4, I guess they would say a big 8-point.
Yeah.
And he couldn't like he was in a position where he couldn't see it. And I'm talking 175 yards, could have shot probably a whitetail was bigger than any mule deer I've ever shot. And like, I just had to be like, cause like any other client would like, they're there for mule deer. So like, they don't give a shit. I could have just killed it, and they would have been like, oh, that's cool. Like my guy had shot a whitetail, like, but him, like I couldn't do that. So it was just so brutal to just sit
had
there.
to sit there and bite your tongue.
I'm just like, he's there. I can see him. But yeah.
Jeez.
Anyways,
which is crazy because like same area, I had a similar story the first time they ever took me out there. Probably I don't know, dude. It had to be 180-inch whitetail.
that double drop time. When you jumped up.
Jeez.
And Matt, our fourth partner, he was the one that took me out there, and he's like, "Oh, there's a big ass whitetail right there," and I'm 14 at the time. So I'm like, I could see it with my eyes, but every time I brought the scope, I'd lose it. Every time I brought the scope up, and then I just watched this thing jump over the fence, and just kind of like, I've never heard if you ever heard a deer laugh, that was the time to hear a deer laugh. But yeah, that's crazy.
So Zach, do you do any elk hunting?
I've always wanted to, and I fucking love elk meat, but it was just too physical for me. I just couldn't, 700 pounds, fucking helicopter would have trouble getting me out.
Right.
You're just gonna have to come hunting with us.
Yeah. I mean, you can listen to it on I think it's our first lodge crew that we did. Wall Tent Chronicles that we did.
Yeah, we have a bonus episode that we did
that I talked about the difference, because I'm from Western Montana, and then I moved to Eastern Montana, and the difference in elk hunting is crazy. I mean,
basically what he's saying is sometimes you don't have to hike 15 miles into a shithole to shoot an elk.
Sometimes me and Sean, we just drive into an area and all you have to do is step out of the Ranger and they're right there.
And that's totally not what I'm used to. I mean, seriously, it's like
you got to work for it.
Miles, dude. I mean, because it's some dumb idea that I think was embedded in my brain because of hearing from hearing guys from Western Montana shoot elk. It's like there's no elk a mile in from where you park the truck. They're 15. They're 17 miles in. And it's like that's the biggest thing where it's like you got to go and get there. And it's like that's not always the case. And I mean, prairie elk hunting is just it's blows my mind. I mean,
were you aware that there's like elk within 10 miles of us right now?
The Bull Mountains.
I mean, like closer than that. I'm talking closer than
I've seen elk on the roundabout at Zimmerman in that road before.
Like top 20 biggest bulls I've ever seen.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top 20 biggest bulls I've ever seen. I had that white truck like 6 years ago. I'm coming up Acton Hill. You know where that's at? Mm-hmm. I'm about to the top. I had a headlight out, so I had my brights on. If I didn't have my brights on, I would have smashed one of the biggest bulls I've ever seen standing right in the middle of the road right there. But they're in Alkali Creek, dude. They come through. Absolutely. And they just had some out on like End Grand. Someone hold on, sorry.
I've had guys, plenty of people tell me that the biggest mule deer they've ever seen in their life are like come out of Alkali Creek.
Oh, dude, no. When we were fucking kids, so you know where my parents live?
Yeah.
Didn't used to be a ton of houses on that backside. We'd sneak down off that rim down there. Did you guys do the same thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we'd sneak down off that rim and go paintballing and shit. Well, like when we got more into hunting in high school, we'd go shed hunting down there. Dude, there's 180-inch mule deer all day long.
Yeah. Which is crazy. I mean, like where I'm from, you see a lot more whitetail because the river runs right through.
I can tell you how much more rural that my schooling experience was. I remember sitting in elementary class and there would be turkeys. Walking outside.
Oh, yeah.
Walking
I don't
outside
remember
the window.
that.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing behind
Cliffs all
that
6
school.
years? Yeah.
Yeah, I got moved there for a little bit, but they moved me back.
I didn't do kindergarten there, but I did all the rest.
You know what's crazy too is what I noticed when I first moved here is the amount of fucking antelope you see in town.
Oh yeah, dude, that field across from my parents' house, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they always jump the fence right across from Castle Rock. All the fucking time. They're always jumping that fence. Remember when we used to walk to Hit and Run?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I forgot Hit and Run even existed.
Do you fucking remember Dalton? Don't say the last name.
There's a lot of...
His parents owned it.
You know which one.
I do know.
Yeah.
I do. Is it the trap shooting one?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah. Does he have a sister?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I was going to say this. You were talking about your dad a couple times. Why do I remember? Was your dad a huge Raiders fan?
Fuck yeah.
That's what I remember.
Him and I would always argue about whose dad was a better mechanic. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was literally an ongoing battle. Our entire friendship, enemyship.
Are you a big football fan still?
Big, huge.
Did you take on the Raiders?
Hell yeah, I did.
Oh man, dude. They might be pretty decent next year, dude. For real.
Yeah, they will. We got
as long as I can
Josh
start that
McDaniel.
car.
Yeah, but I think you guys are going to pick up a quarterback in free agency. I think Derek Carr is piecing out. He's a good dude.
He's a good leader, bro.
And you know what's the best thing
He's
about Derek Carr?
He's definitely a perfect Raiders quarterback.
His brother's just always on like TV, just like Derek's the best.
Same with fucking Colin Coward.
Oh,
he's always like Derek Carr is an elite quarterback.
Yeah, fuck Baker Mayfield. That's Colin Coward.
Oh shit. Who are we going for in the Super Bowl?
Who this year?
Yeah.
I wanted the Bengals, dude. I love Jamar Chase.
You know what's funny is I kept saying, I was like, Joe Burrow deserves this, but
No,
motherfucker, Matt Stafford deserved the
13 fucking
shit out
years
of
in a
that.
winless city.
I know.
Oh my god.
And I kept seeing all this stuff. It's like that's the closest Detroit's ever gonna get to a Super Bowl.
Have you seen the meme where it's like the Lions hung a flag and it's like our old quarterback won the Super Bowl? Like we're a Super Bowl.
At least we have Eminem.
Yeah. Dude, could you imagine him and Megatron like were on a different team?
Oh my god.
That
dude.
could have been like the
That would've
Tom,
been
Tom
insane.
Brady of the NFC.
Literally like
The
that
Tom
would've been
and
like
Randy
fucking
Moss, dude.
Randy Moss and Tom Brady.
He's had such a good year, dude.
Who?
Matt Stafford, unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, fucking Cooper.
Cooper Kupp.
He's
bro.
now
He's
he
from
is
our
now taking
conference.
2 wide receivers to like the top 2 yearly receiving yards or whatever.
Well, didn't
'Cause,
arguably
I mean-
Cooper Kupp had the best year of a receiver ever?
Did he beat Jerry Rice's record? Was it Jerry Rice that had the
I
record?
don't know
Fuck,
that.
I don't know.
Did you see that stat that was like 40-year-olds with more receiving yards? And it was like Jerry Rice, Tom Brady, like number 1 and number 2.
Do you know what's crazy though? There's gonna be like literally like the oldest guy in the NFL. I think Whitworth's gonna retire. So Tom Brady retired. Then the oldest guy was Whitworth, who's on the Rams.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna retire, and I think there's not gonna be any more like 40-year-olds.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is like 37.
No, who's the
I bet he
kicker
retired
for?
before 40.
He retired.
Adam Vinatieri retired.
No, not Vinatieri.
The guy for the Packers is old as shit. But
Matt
I don't-
Crosby?
I don't think
Crosby's
he's 40
not
yet.
in his 40s.
He's a gray-haired.
They
son of
might
a
not
bitch,
be.
though.
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't know. God, we are tangent. We are hopping
Yeah,
tangents.
for real, bro.
But
We
I
can talk
had
about
to say that.
football
I
as
was
a
like,
whole.
I feel like I can picture your dad in a Raiders jersey for some reason.
Raiders tattoos.
Yeah,
That was a big son of a bitch.
Damn, that was so long ago. That was probably
big
fucking
dude.
18, 15 years ago.
Literally. Ramsey and I have been friends since first grade. Who was your first grade? Was it Hanson? Or were you...
Svi.
I thought she was second.
She did first and second for our class.
You did-
I was Brinkman in second.
Did you guys do Anseth together?
Yeah, we had her for 2 years. And
years, yeah.
I messaged her about my whole TikTok thing. I don't know if you remember this, but there was like a time like when we were losing everything, and she and Stoltz took me shopping. Do you remember that? They literally went and bought me a whole
I do
wardrobe.
actually remember
They
that,
bought me a
yeah.
whole fucking wardrobe. Like went so far above.
We
and
had
beyond.
some good ass elementary school. So,
Bro, that school was elite.
Anseth was a really good, like one of my, we were very close.
Me too.
Ramsey and I. And that's so crazy to hear like how good of a teacher she was.
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa died when I was had her, and she took me to the store and shit too. Like that tells you what like the quality of the teachers we
real.
had in Billings, dude.
She was like
Minus
still-
high school.
And then were you Whistler or DeRutter?
The runner.
DeRutter was phenomenal too. And then Alex's mom
You know
stepped
that?
in.
You know that salamander
You guys didn't have Niemeyer, did you?
that she had as a pet?
I think so.
Dude, I had that thing for like 7 years
No
after
fucking
that.
way.
Yeah, Edward, dude.
Bro, one thing I've looked for ever since. Do you remember the barometer? The little thing that was on the wall that went up when it was going to rain with the blue fluid in it right next to the door? You don't remember that? Like where we'd line up to go outside, she had a fucking barometric pressure reader. I've been trying to find one for so long.
Dude, I bet.
Yard sales.
I just
garage sales.
remember like she had back surgery or something.
Yeah, she got all fucked up.
And then
Alex's mom.
Alex's mom. That was dope too.
That was dope as
Hey,
fuck.
speaking, is that the one that we're doing shirts through?
No.
No.
No. Oh,
The
you're
one-
doing shirts through Alex? I know. K,
yeah.
Alex K.
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked to him too.
Well,
his
actually,
mom.
we're-
His mom.
we're
His mom
actually-
made our soccer jerseys, bro.
yeah.
Alex, him and I run so fucking deep, bro. We played soccer together for years.
We have hats there right now. Well, it's
lit.
Yeah, they're doing our hats for us right now.
No, the one that lived by us.
Oh,
Did he?
yeah.
Did he live over there?
Alex?
I
No,
didn't know he
the
lived
one you're
there.
talking about originally, the blonde-haired one.
Yeah, he lived off Ginger.
Alex F, yeah.
Yeah, that fucking hill. You remember when Logan went down that hill on the scooter and fucked his face up?
Oh yeah.
He
And
hit the
then
pole.
Jacob, because you had that house right there on the corner.
F?
No, F.
Oh yeah, Jordan's best friend.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
he went off into like on a snow sled. He went off into the
Yeah.
trees, and like this dude came out and he was like, "Yo, what the hell are you kids doing?" I'm like, dude, I think he's dead.
How is Jacob?
Dude, I don't know. I think he took that music thing and just kind of.
Did he?
He's super good at the drums. I think he just kind of ran with that.
It's kind of always his
Last
thing.
time I saw him, he was like had real long hair down to here.
I thought you were saying tits there for a second.
Well,
Same.
that's me.
Okay. Did you have any more questions about hunting, Sean?
I mean, we could go on for
Yeah, I know.
Don't get us on that.
My one question on the subject is: do you see yourself getting into like pursuing hunting the way you pursued fly fishing, or is it something that's really not in your wheelhouse?
I think I could go either way with it. I think fly fishing is definitely something I'm more interested in, but hunting is definitely. I really want to get into goose hunting.
Oh,
Really want to do some geese.
I may know some people that do that.
I've heard my buddy Brendan. He just got a fuck ton of Canadian honkers, and he wants to bring me some so I can try to meal prep it.
Oh yeah. Well,
that
first
shit.
of all, I'm gonna tell you
How
right
much
now,
you
goose
want?
tastes like shit.
Does it really?
It's the worst.
Okay,
But if you figure out how to do it right,
that's with anything.
we just made it into
I mean,
jerky, bro. And this is the
Oh,
best jerky
goose
ever.
jerky is
It's weird, like
unbelievable.
so. Gosh, damn! I have another good story.
We're gonna have to part 2 this. I think.
Yeah.
Well, just one more. 3 years ago, remember when we went to the Super Bowl? And we were at Cody's house, and we.
Oh, this was more than 3 years ago.
You think so?
Oh,
6 years
yeah.
ago.
Probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Cody
Ramsey
No.
was he was definitely 21.
Yeah.
We decided we were gonna get drunk. Me and Cody, and we were gonna see how we could cook goose to make it taste good. We tenderized, pan fried, this and that, and this and that, and you could get it where it was like almost like you could almost eat it. And then we pulled out the elk steaks and we just threw it all. Like we just all like, all right, it's going back in the jerky pile. But
my most vivid memory of you. I don't know if you remember this, but I did something that pissed somebody off.
Dude, Ding Dong ditched the house, dude.
You remember this too?
I
And your
remember it,
fucking
yeah.
friend tried to beat me up, and you beat him up for trying to beat me up, and I just fucking went away.
really,
Wow.
Who was that?
It was Chris down the street.
Oh my God, Chris. Yep, M.
Yeah.
he is super good now. He's awesome. dude.
Extremely nice person.
Great
That's
guy.
great. I ding dong dished, and it fucking made people really fucking mad. And
Were you around when Ramsey threw an ice chunk at the same guy?
no, but
I had to tackle him and save Ramsey from getting murdered from the same dude.
Chris broke Cody, the one down the street from me.
Yeah.
Football Cody. Broke his window on his garage, and Chris was kind of a shitty fucker back then. I remember that. That's cool that he's a great person now.
Super good dude. Actually, Ramsey Ramsey went to the job interview the other day, or like a couple months ago, and he was the so it was like, I wonder if it was like he remembered the ice chunk that Ramsey threw
No
at
way,
him.
motherfucker. The hell with you.
But are we pretty much wrapping it up, guys?
I think so.
Zach, thanks so much for coming on, dude.
Thank
This
you.
is the most fun we've had this
Seriously.
whole time. This was,
Thanks for having me.
and we learned a lot too. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Make sure to catch Zach. He's got a really good podcast called Mental Hygiene. You guys post how many times a week?
We were doing 2, now we're doing 1.
Okay, once a week. You guys are on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And then do you want to plug your socials? You got Instagram. What's your handle?
Zach.h28.
Is it the same on TikTok?
No, on TikTok it's Zach2885.
Yeah, you probably don't really even need to look that up because he'll probably pop in your For You page pretty easily. But yeah, check him out on his Mental Hygiene podcast. He's got a lot to offer on basically everything you need to know about the strategy of coming off of 700 pounds down. And it's really, it's really good information. Ramsey and I are taking everything that we can from him and running in stride.
Sponge.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we're good to go, guys.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week. Ramsey, Sean, and I think we'll have the studio almost complete. I think it'll be even prettier. But we'll have you back with our usual stuff next week. So, everyone take care, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya.
That's all for today, folks. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Make sure to download and listen to the Bull Mountain Brothers podcast. You can catch us on Spotify and Apple Music. Don't forget to check us out on social media for more daily content. Links in the description.